What up, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fans for Princess, SoundCloud, SoundClick, my man's Kill for Kills, and everybody out there who are Game of Thrones fans. This is just some Game of Thrones theory to try to find out who's who and why. These are just some of my theories, just let you guys know I am not a huge reader. I've never read any of the books. I have written a book called The Sorrowed King. You can check it out on lulu.com or on Amazon. I'm about to make it an audiobook because it's unedited. So I've done some writing. I've wrote some songs, wrote a book. I used to write poems. You can listen to that on CD Baby. Or you could just Google Tone 202. Anyways, let's get into the Night King. And who is the Night King? The Night King is one of the first men created by the children of the forest. Created to be a deterrent because the children of the forest were losing the battle between them and the first men, the Andals, I believe, and they pretty much didn't have the numbers. So they were like, we're going to create the numbers and create dead men to fight against men who are alive. Now, you can see how this backfires because dead men who all of a sudden become alive end up fighting against whoever. Nonetheless, so they created this Night King who was one of the first men. Now, we don't know the Night King's name. Some people are speculating that the Night King is actually Brandon Stark. That is nowhere near the truth. And I'm going to tell you guys why. For one, Brandon Stark, or Bran the Builder, reincarnated, Brandon Stark is A warg. B, he is the three-eyed raven, right? A strange ability to see parts of the future and the past. And the older he gets and the more practice he gets, he can see the future and the past, although he shouldn't stay in the future or the past. Now, Brandon has been touched by the Night King, and the Night King has seen him actually pretty much materialize in front of him, and he's touched him. Now, for this reason, people speculate that the reason why he was able to recognize him is because he is him. I beg to differ. For one, when Brandon Stark was touched by the Night King, he was surprised that the Night King was able to do that. You know what I mean? Now some would say, well, he doesn't know all of his abilities. Yes, but Brandon Stark was warned of what to do and what not to do when it comes to going into the future or going into the past. And he was warned by the Targaryen, who was already the three-eyed raven, who was supposedly killed. See, I don't think the three-eyed raven is a person. The three-eyed raven is obviously an ability. It's an entity. You know what I'm saying? Just like when somebody becomes king and they die, somebody else replaces and becomes king. It's a position. Therefore, I don't think the Night King, like when and if he dies, and who said that he hasn't died before, I don't think when the Night King dies that the army of the dead all of a sudden go away and then there's no more Land of Always Winter. There's no more army of the dead. There's no more dead dragons, dead snarks and grumpkins, dead giants, dead werewolf spiders, which we haven't seen yet, and everything else that comes in the Land of Always Winter, huge bears and all that. I don't think it stops. I don't think it stops at all. I think these are two entities that are a balance of nature that happened because of an imbalance in nature. I think when man first came to Westeros, they set forth an imbalance in nature. And when they did, nature, meaning the children of the forest, went to correct this imbalance. And as long as man is imbalanced in Westeros, there will always be a Night King. You have to understand, man is like a virus. In King's Landing, when Jaime said he saved, remember he was talking to Qyburn, and Qyburn asked him how many people did he kill, and he was like, quite a few. And then he asked him how many did he save. Jaime said, I saved 500,000, the population of King's Landing. That was back in what, season 3 or 4? This season that just went off, Jaime's brother Tyrion was asked by Jon Snow how many people lives in King's Landing. The answer was 1 million. So if we're just going to speculate how many years that it took to go from 500,000 to 1 million, you would just have to look at when the Mad King died and pretty much how old was Jaime then and how old is he now. So we're just going to say, what, maybe 10 years? If that, we're going to say somewhere around there, because Daenerys, was a child. She's a full-grown, beautiful woman now. And, yeah, so we're going to say maybe 10 years. So just think about this. Humans populating, spreading from 500,000 to 1 million in 10 years. Now, I'm not saying that they can overpopulate the place where they're at, within 100 years, yada, yada, yada. But I am saying that if humans are a virus in Westeros and they don't belong there, or they're living in a fashion where they're not living off the land, and the land is upset of the way that they're living, then the land will do what? The living land will do what? It'll find a way to cleanse them, or to keep their numbers down, to keep them in check. Intro, the Night King. Nature, being the children of the forest, introduced a way to cut the numbers down of the living men that were used, now listen to me, that are using resources of the land and misusing resources of the land because they don't understand how to live off of the land. The Night King lives off of the land. Why? Because he doesn't need anything. When the Night King and his army aren't killing people, what are they doing? Answer, nothing. Well, the army's doing nothing. The Night King is usually gathering babies. But he doesn't have to kill to get these babies. See, the Night King isn't some murderous, marauding idiot. When he was taking Craster's babies, he was taking the babies, turning them in to whites. He wasn't slaughtering them and then making them, because he knew if he killed them, then the position and the age that they died, then that's the age that they are. There are no, where do you see walking babies? You'll see children, but you'll see them fighting. But you don't see any babies. There's a reason for that. Because the Night King takes them. And he makes them what he makes them. It's just a theory I'm just throwing out there. I think this is all the natural order of things. Therefore, I don't think that Brandon Stark is the Night King. I think that Brandon Stark is a three-eyed raven, and when he dies, there'll be another three-eyed raven, and when the Night King dies, there'll be another Night King. Who says that the Night King hasn't died before? Who says that the Night King hasn't died before? There wasn't another Night King. You guys going to go, well, this is the same Night King. How do you know? What happened the last time that they came with their snarks and grumpkins and werewood spiders when old Nan was talking about? What happened the last time they came? How did they get beat back? How did they kill the undead? I mean, when you think about it, there were dragons during that time, weren't there? Were there? I don't know, there might have been, but nonetheless, there was still giants and all that other stuff. And just think of how long it lasted. It was like 100 years when it lasted, right? I mean, you guys, you readers, help me out. Emergence of Awesome, help me out. I'm just saying, the Night King isn't an individual. It's an office. It's an entity. That's what he is. And he will keep coming. There will be another one and another one and another one and another one until the people of Westeros live off the land. It's just my theory. It's your boy Tone 202. It's just something to throw out there. You guys tell me what you think. And, we'll take it from there. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.